Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX trade setups for today. So we actually had a fairly decent bounce off some structure yesterday, and that's right over here where price is again. And then after hours now we are barreling to the downside. This is based on something happening in Asia or some response to something that happened in Asia. I know Bank of England had a rate hike raise yesterday when we were expecting a reduction. So that caught the market by surprise. But you can see that in the currency markets. But I mean, the FTSE didn't really. It was down yesterday, but it was down 0.7%. But Asia, I mean, Hang Seng's down 2% at the moment. So not sure that's the reason. But anyway, the level that I gave you yesterday for looking for a short played out early this morning. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, I suppose. But anyway, for me at the moment, this is a bit of caution. We do have a crossover of our moving averages, and we are flirting with the 8-hour here. So it's the first time, we did it here some time ago, and now we are doing it again. So the big question is, is it going to turn? Is it going to find support to the left here and move to the upside? Not 100% sure. And then the other thing that you've got here on the weekly is you've got this nice big weekly green bar, but this week we have engulfed it so far. So we have to get above these two levels here for us to have an inside bar, or even not so much. We have to get all the way back to the upside anyway for something to look positive on the weekly. So what I mean by that is inside bar, big engulfing bar. That is a classic topping pattern if I've ever seen one. And here was the previous one here. You can see pin bar, big engulfing bar, try get back, another pin bar, and then just give up on it. So that is a little bit concerning. Difference in the two setups here is you can see there was diversions forming here. And we don't really have diversions forming here, but what we do have is, I suppose we could argue that's diversions. There you can see moving down while that made a new high. But I think that's more, for me, a crossover. But it needs to drop below this 80 on the oscillators before I'm really convinced. And that just bodes for the double top neckline, which is right here. So typically you'll see when price drops below that, the oscillators will be below the 80. And then, whoever's trying to defend this area here will just give up, and they will wait lower down. So they'll wait somewhere in this area here. And there's a nice juicy gap there, so that would probably be the next area that the bulls would be waiting. Still in an uptrend. Don't get too excited about price falling to the floor. I don't think you should ever get too excited about price falling to the floor. It's not the way the markets are designed. The markets are designed for a pullback. Anyway, 3 hour. Let's see if we can find some structure here. So nice juicy pin bar off some structure. Do I have a level? Yes, I do have a level in here. So you can see there is the swing high. We got above it, we got below it, we got above it. Never came back to support that, and we rejected it there as well. So this 15859 is obviously a very key area. We've got a nice 3-hour pin bar here off that. Moved up into the area I gave you yesterday for the short, and that's when the short happened. Pay attention to your moving averages. Okay, they're separating. In other words, the distance between them is getting quite far, and they've all crossed over now. So could be double bottom setup, or could be another leg lower. There is a gap lower as well, and also some structure. You can see there's structure there, and then there's a gap. And if I remember correctly, there's still a whole lot of 5-minute and 15-minute gaps here as well. So pay very, very close attention to this zone that we're in at the moment. Now, as soon as you start getting down to the hour, you're going to start seeing a better bit of structure. So there was my hourly pin bar with a gap up, engulfing bar almost, but it's also a bearish pattern. The pin bar is one you're looking to play. That was the long setup straight here, and I said to you yesterday what we should be looking for is a retest of this for a short, And look what happened here. Inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. I've seen a lot of them recently, but it's not something that I always look for because they're fairly rare. But inside bar, inside bar, inside bar, hanging man, going into the close, and then we wake up with a solid move to the downside. So big question here is this just a range setup? This is after hours move, so you can really expect traders to come to work this morning, have a look at what's going on, and see some value somewhere, depending on what the noise is that's driving the market, and then buy into it and just form a bigger range. What it could also mean is because you've got the setup on the 3 hour that's starting to become bearish, and on the 8 hour it is starting to become bearish. You can see the crossover there. We just need to break and retest the 155, and that needs to cross over before that bearish setup starts playing out. So it could also mean that strong move down, big range, or a break and continuation to the downside. So there's a lot of setups here for the bears, but there's also setups for the bulls. So just be very, very, very careful at the moment. Okay, 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, you can see, wasn't really a decent 15-minute setup of structure, but I'll keep harping on it. But if you just swing left on that 15-minute chart, and you're going to have to go back quite far. Where's price? There's price there. And you start looking for the next closest level. So you can see there's the next closest level there, and then there's one more a little bit further down, all by itself down there. You come back to price now, and you will see there was a test of that structure. So this is what they refer to as traps. You don't look far enough back to see where the next two levels are. So you look back and you say, okay, that's the level there. Or you look on the higher time frame, that's 15,859, that's where I'm buying. You put a limit order in there, and what a lot of people will do is they'll say, I'm just going to, I want tight stop loss here. I want to make a lot of money. So I have like 20 point, 30 point stop loss because it's a fairly strong level. And then that's what happens. Takes out the stops, hits to the next level, which is in the lower time frames, and then bounces. Anyway, that's just another reason why I say always have 3 in on the time frame you're entering. So if you're entering on the hour, then obviously you would have got this. You would have been okay for this little swing down. If you're entering on the 15, you would have stressed a bit for this move to the downside. So for me, I'm really not sure whether we are ranging on whether this is going to continue or whether it's just going to reverse. So it is end of week, so obviously we are chasing a weekly close of something. And what that weekly close is, I couldn't tell you, but if you look at all these levels here, you can see this is a very strong area of interest. So I wouldn't want to be short here. I think this move is done. If I am going to be short, it's going to be higher up. So, and higher up, let me just take this level here and do that. So that would be the first opportunity, and then your kind of a difficult one. You do have a gap as well, but anyway, that looks like fairly solid bit of structure here. So I would want to see a retest of 15,941 and 15,956, but just wait for confirmation because there's little gaps and a daily gap here. So that's the area that I'd be waiting for a rejection or for another move down. What's happening now, I think we're probably building a flag for a retest of this 15,817, probably dropping down 15,800 area at the moment. Definitely don't want to be jumping in short down here, and that's just because we've got so much weekly structure to the left. It'll be foolish to jump in and expect weekly structure breaks today. Can happen, does happen, but it's not the norm. So that's not what I'd be looking for. Anyway, that's kind of my view. The only thing I'd be looking for longs as well would be a break above yesterday's highs. And that's also possible. just by the way. We could bounce off here and then just rally all the way up and break and close above yesterday's highs, and that would set up the longs for next week. So yeah, sit on hands until we get a retest of structure. That's basically what I'll be doing. Hope it helps, and if it does, drop us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Just say hi. Appreciate that, and we'll catch up with you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend.